Secretary Buttigieg is here. Good to see you, Mr. Secretary. Secretary Fudd, Secretary Granholm, Secretary. There you go. Okay, you guys got to make sure. I thought everybody was on this side. This can put plumbers and pipe fitters to work to be more energy efficient and resilient, and extreme weather, to be able to sustain extreme weather and the climate crisis. We're going to do it all. Clear water and clean water. Broader support for a proposal the broadest support a proposal has in Congress, the strongest prospects for passage of moving forward on a majority basis when we are at deep odds with one another, so-called reconciliation process.
What assurances do you have at this point that you have sufficient Democratic support both in the Senate and the House to move both on this bipartisan deal and on the reconciliation package?
You always ask me those things. Nobody knows for certain. It's your job, but you know it's not a reasonable question. I do know that among the roughly 20 bipartisan groups of senators and senators that I met with, well, only 10 were here today, but that group, $49 billion for public transit. When I raised that before, some of you looked at me like, where have you been, Biden? You've been spending too much in China or something. I haven't been to China. And you said when people are waiting for relief, I got them $1.9 trillion of relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential this week for childcare. That this just isn't about showing an identification that this is who I am when I vote. This is about who gets to judge whether your vote counted after it's been cast. What these guys are trying to do now, in rough approximation, is say that if we don't like the way the vote turned out and we control the state legislature, we're going to say the vote didn't count. And we're going to recount. That's never happened before. It's wrong. Who in God's name, as my mother would say, died and left them boss? This is the sacred right to vote. As John Lewis said, it is the most important right you have. And so I'm going to do the best I can to see it's overturned. I control that. If they don't come, I'm not signing. Real simple. Number two, you notice I didn't have that bleak view you all had. You said 48 hours ago it didn't look good. It looked good to me 48 hours ago. I wrote the bill on the environment. Why would I not be for it? So it's not, I mean, I know that doesn't answer any of your questions about, can you tell me when? How are you going to do it? Asking me, well, you know, guess what? Employers can't find workers. I said, yeah, pay them more. This is an employees bargaining chip now. What's happening? They're going to have to compete and start paying hardworking people a decent wage. No one's talking about this great, you know. I've got to get a helicopter.
Mr. President, will you travel to Florida, sir? Can we ask you about Florida, what you've learned and what you hope you have?
I apologize. Yes, thank you, my president. I wrote the bill on the environment.